Time now for an in-depth look at the market news this afternoon, and for that I'm joined on the line by Mr. Daniel Yu, global strategist at Yuanta Securities. Mr. Yu, thank you for coming on today.
Good afternoon.
As we just heard, the president led the second meeting so far of the Emergency Economic Council, deciding to expand the 50 trillion won worth of economic measures to 100 trillion won. This is aimed at helping small businesses, the self-employed, and key industries. What do you make of this aid package?
Well, at least the market is very happy with this news. If you look at the KOSPI, it's up 8.6%, adding 127.5 points, actually breaking above 1,600 level. Also, the Kosdaq is up 8.26%. Clearly, this is following the relief package that come from the U.S. side, where the Fed have decided that they will use a massive and limitless stimulus in terms of purchasing any type of debt, including the corporate bonds. And because of the corporate COVID-19 pandemic issues, the government is clearly trying to do everything possible to battle the economic downturn. So that's coming from the U.S. side. But on top of that, today, as you said, South Korea President Moon Jae-in have said that government will double the planned rescue package to contain the mounting economic financial fallout from the coronavirus to 100 trillion won. Now, government will expand policy financing loans to small and medium-sized companies, help them keep their jobs, also inject liquidity to the financial markets by purchasing the corporate bonds and various other type of securities. Clearly, this is quite strong commitment. Of course, there's doubts and questions on how this will be dealt with, whether or not political side can be agreed between the ruling party and opposition parties. But nevertheless, at least we are seeing some structure that comforting the market at this point in time.
Well, you mentioned the Fed's pledge of unlimited quantitative easing still. U.S. stocks overnight were down another 3%. Asian stocks are up today, of course, including Korea. But a lot of people are saying the stock market's going to get worse before it gets better. What do you think, Mr. Yu?
I think that there's a big question mark. You have seen various investment bankers in the U.S. have said that U.S. economy will plunge in terms of the growth rate in second quarter. They're talking about anywhere between 15% to 30% decline YOY. That is one of the single biggest decline that we haven't seen in histories. So clearly that is the big issue, and that drove the stock prices yesterday falling by quite a significant amount. However, if you look at the futures market right now in U.S., U.S. stocks are poised to join the worldwide rebound that we are seeing today. If you look at the Dow and S&P and NASDAQ, all are up close to 5% in terms of the futures. Clearly, the Fed announcement of using the limitless liquidity injections, and we are actually seeing a huge amount of injection that is happening. If you look at the Fed balance sheets, it's actually now hitting the record high level of amount. Also, yes, there has been delay in terms of the passing the $2 trillion economic stimulus package. That's not been approved yet, but we think that pressure on Democrats will be very high, and therefore the ruling party and opposition party will come to an agreement probably within this week to implement that $2 trillion economic stimulus package. All that being said, if these type of liquidity injection as well as the fiscal boosting measure that happens, then we think that the level of the damage that we will see in the first and second quarter can be limited, and we will see a very strong rebound in the third quarter this year.
Well, elsewhere we see oil prices at historic lows right now for a combination of reasons. A bit of a bump higher today, though. Where do you see oil going?
Yes, as you said, WTI crude oil price went back and forth during the trading session on Monday, and so is today. We continue to see a lot of questions regarding the crude oil market and what the direction will be. Some people are saying that you will see $20 will break, and you might see even low teens prices. Some people are saying negative prices. I don't know how they come up with that number. But in any case, there's continuation of very bearish sentiment that's happening right now. Clearly, this is because of the Saudi Arabia and also Russia continues to have issues, and they have not decided to cut productions. And also, there's doubts about how shale gas companies might be under huge pressure. In overall, we think that these three big parties, the Saudi Arabia and also Russia, as well as U.S., will come to a table and decide on some kind of production cut. And if that actually happens, then oil price might probably go up to around $35 level at least. Right now, it's only at $25 range. Clearly, this is much lower than right before the coronavirus hit. The prices were anywhere between $40 to $50 range. So clearly, this has been a major decline. Clearly, this is putting pressures for the economic growth rates and a lot of these related sectors. However, if the production cut happens and oil price does recover, then we will see some lights to this dark tunnel.
Very interesting, Mr. Yu. We'll have to leave it there for today, though. Thanks, as always, for making time today.
Thank you very much.